So questions from the review. 3, 5, 15. Remember that tomorrow 3 things are due. There's been 4 assignments. 3 of them are due. 325, 352. And then basically the worksheet counts as 2 because the inverse side is 1 assignment and the review side is another assignment. And so I need 3 of the 4. So strongly recommend you do all 4, but leave it up to you. Looking at the review worksheet, number 3, y equals x, natural log x minus x plus 2. Find the derivative of the following functions. Factor out common factors, get common denominators. Okay, so that means don't settle for the safe stop. Be ready for a multiple choice test is what those directions are basically trying to tell you. This looks like a product rule right off the bat here. I'm going to product rule in place on this one because those look pretty straightforward. So the first one times the derivative of the second one plus the second one times the derivative of the first one, which is just 1. So there's my product rule pieces. And then derivative of minus x is minus 1. Derivative 2 is 0. The x's cancel out, so I got 1 plus natural log x minus 1, which means all that reduces down to natural log of x.
I forgot the 1 of that. So
This one?
No, I forgot the other one, so I just had ln x minus 1, and I was like, what?
Forgot this part of it. Number 5, g of t equals 2t parentheses natural log t plus natural log 2 minus 2t plus e. It's like just throw everything into one problem here to review it all at once. This looks like product rule, although you might want to distribute first. I think we're still going to have to do product rule, but I'm going to distribute first. 2t natural log t plus 2t natural log 2 minus 2t plus e. So again, that's algebra, that's not calculus yet. So I didn't really get out of the product rule. I still have that for this piece. Let's see. Derivative of the first is 2 times the second plus the second times derivative of the first. Again, in the interest of time, I'm kind of product ruling in place. If you don't like that, by all means, write out what f prime is and g prime is and then put it together. It doesn't take that much extra time to make sure you're getting it right. All right, this second term, though, 2t ln 2. I guess the ln 2 is what can throw people off, natural log of 2. But the natural log of 2 is just a constant. So what this really is, how I could rewrite it is 2 natural log of 2 times t. And the 2 ln 2 is a constant. The derivative of t is 1. So that derivative is 2 natural log 2. 2's all over the place here. Minus 2. What about the derivative of e? 0, because that's a constant. That's a fine safe stop. The directions did say clean it up. Again, it's trying to get you ready for the test where there's quite a few of the multiple choice questions have algebra cleanup issues with them. The 2's cancel out, so I get 2 natural log t plus 2 natural log 2. And I guess if I wouldn't write this out, but if I'm looking at my answers, they may have factored out a 2. Ooh, you know what else they could do if we really wanted to get fancy? We could use a property of logs and combine that back into one argument. So you wouldn't have to do that on your own, but the question would be, if you get this answer and you start looking at your answer choices, could you see that that is the same thing? And some of you are like, nope, couldn't.
Can you explain the 2 ln and 2 part again? Like up where you did the product rule, but like with the other.
This part?
Yeah.
So I did not need to do the product rule because this is a constant. This is like the derivative. It's like the derivative of 2t is just 2.
Oh, okay.
So this is the constant that's going along for the ride, and the derivative of t is 1. So yeah, that was a good one. A little natural log property thrown in there. And then 15. I think I'll have room on the paper to do this. Find f prime of 2. So f prime of x. Oh, I got chain rule. A lot of chain rule. What's the first thing going on here? The g or the 2? The 2. So 2 times g of x times g prime of x. Which is a little bit odd. I don't know what g is, but I do have some values. So f prime of 2 means plug 2 in for x. Two times g of 2 is 3. G prime of 2 is negative 4. So negative 24. So it's like just using the chain rule. Part B, what's the first rule we're going to use? Lots of rules in Part B. Product rule. What else will I need, though? Chain rule. Oh, this is going to be, I better be careful here because I'm using f and g for product rule, but f and g are also already used in the problem. So be careful. F prime is 1. G prime will be the tricky part here. Let's see. Maybe not, because I don't have the x to worry about. The derivative of sine is cosine. And then chain rule times g prime. So now, sort of back up, big picture, got to reassemble the pieces here. So the first one times the derivative of the second one. X. I'm going to put the g prime in front of the cosine just because I think it looks better that way. So that was first times derivative of the second plus second times derivative of the first. Oh, that one's easier because the derivative of first is 1. Sine of g of x. Yeah, that's one where I would not product rule in place. That was a complicated derivative there, so I showed my work on that one. All right, f prime of 2. So 2 goes in everywhere for x. So 2 times g prime of 2 times cosine of g of 2 plus sine of g of 2. G prime of 2 is negative 4. G of 2 is 3. So we can't really do much with this answer. Also should have worked it on a separate sheet of paper. I get negative 8 cosine 3 plus sine of 3. And without a calculator, that's as good as I can get it. And part C is going to be very similar. Very similar. You're going to have to do product rule, chain rule, and my guess is your answer is going to have, let's see, g of 2 is 3. Your answer is going to have natural log of 3 in it somewhere. Because I don't know what the natural log of 3 is without a calculator anyway. All right, so three main rules. Derivative of natural log is 1 over u du. Derivative of e to the u is e to the u du. And the derivative of the inverse is 1 over the derivative of the original, but at the other point. Right, it's only 3 things on the test. Oversimplifying things. Those are the 3 new rules. Then you got to combine all of that with product, quotient, chain, trig, power, all your algebra skills. A lot going on.